Okay, so seems that there's a lot of uneducated, hypocritical people that just don't understand anything they're talking about all the damn time. So, this is a public service announcement to explain the abortion issue in a way that you dumb fucks will understand. Okay, so versus Wade was never a law, never went through Senate, never went through Congress, never arrived at a president's desk. It was just a Supreme Court ruling. So basically, it was a suggestion to all the other courts in the United States to just handle it that way. It wasn't a law. It was a suggestion. What do they call it? Oh, god damn it. There's a legal word for it. I can't remember it. Uh, anyway, it's basically it's a suggestion. It's anybody else arguing the same thing can go, oh, precedence. It's a precedent. So you could argue, hey, the Supreme Court said this. So that's basically all it ever was. It was never a law. It was never signed into the books. It was just, and when the Supreme Court said, yeah, we're throwing out that precedent, you can't use it anymore. And Trump said, well, in that case, the federal government has no opinion on this. States can vote whether or not they have it. And people are losing their mind. The federal government should step in and make it legal everywhere because we want it that way and it's the way it should be. Oh, we need the federal government to step in on that issue. Everything else, the federal government is overstepping and states' rights and everything. But with abortion, going to your state and having states' rights, whether they can make it legal or illegal, it's up to them. The federal government has no opinion. Now you're crying that the federal government has to step in. Meanwhile, you're the same dumb person standing in front of ICE and getting pepper sprayed and shit. Maybe you live in a state that has legalized marijuana. It's still illegal federally. Technically, the federal government can go right into California, arrest everybody working at a head shop or working at a marijuana farm, seize all of the property, all of the income, all of the money, everything for themselves, and shut the entire thing down, and there's nothing the state of California can do about it. Just because they made it legal doesn't make it legal on a federal level. The federal government does the wise thing and goes, states' rights, that's what they voted for. They just can't cross fucking state boundaries with it, otherwise they're breaking a federal law then, and then we'll get them. But as long as they keep it in their own home, that has been the thought of the federal government not having an opinion and giving it the state right. That's how it works. So you can't sit there and be like, yeah, marijuana is legal in my state, I'm so happy about it. And then your state go, well, but abortion is illegal. Oh, why won't the federal government step in? If they step in for that, they have to step in for everything. You just cry because you don't get your way, and it's really fucking annoying. The adults in the room are tired. Like, there isn't even, like, there's a reason Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's a kids' table, and it's usually in a different room. Because the adults don't want to listen to your bullshit for long enough to be able to eat. That's how the adults in America feel right now. The children have been fucking throwing fucking temper tantrums constantly because they don't get their way, being extremely hypocritical about everything they believe in. And the adults are like, we just want to have one meal without having to deal with your fucking bullshit. And we thought, oh, okay, well, maybe the Charlie Kirk Memorial will get a few, an hour of just decompression. No, couldn't even let us decompress. So we still haven't been able to have a fucking quiet meal. And you know what happens when you don't allow your parents, I mean, if you had parents, Some of you just have guardians. I love my mom. I love my dad. Yeah, they don't love you. They haven't raised you at all to be a decent human being. They've taught you to be a victim the same way that they pretend to be victims. But those of us that actually do have parents, when you constantly whine and cry and take away their peace on a constant basis and give them no respite, that's when the whoopings get handed out. That's when you get grounded. That's when you get locked in your room. That's when you get kicked out of the house at fucking 7 in the morning and you're not allowed to come back until the lights turn on. You're pissing off the adults in the room. Pay closer attention to the things that you're arguing about. Look into the facts. Don't just sit there and whine and cry, say hypocritical shit just because you're not getting your way. Because that's what you're doing. You don't know anything you're talking about. You just know you're not getting your way. It's not my way, but I want it is. And nobody fucking cares. Nobody in the house cares anymore. You cry too much. Nobody gives a fuck. Everybody's waiting for you to turn 18 and move the fuck out. Nobody cares anymore. They're tired of your shit.